All right, welcome to day 9, how to be the highlight. So today we have 3 goals. I want to show you how to light up a room, right? That is one of the hardest people skills to have, and that's what today is all about. We're going to also talk about the art of genuine charm. Charm sometimes gets a negative rap, right? Charming, it can sound sort of slimy. So I want to teach you how to genuinely use charm. And lastly, I want to show you how to be socially attractive. What does that mean to be attractive socially? But first, we have a warm-up, as always, to get our juices flowing. So today it is a question, and I want us to talk about, because we're going to talk about a lot about positivity today, what is the moment that you are most proud of? So what's a moment in your life that when you think about it, it just fills you with pride? And it can be a small moment. It could be a big moment. I can already see some wheels turning. I want you to turn to your partner and bring 2 people up on stage with me. And I want you to talk about what is your proudest moment. Terry and Erica, would you guys mind popping up here? And you can turn to your partner and you can talk about your proudest moment. Small or big, and at home, I want you to listen to our answers up here, and I want you to write about your proudest moment, big or small. Get those positive juices flowing. Okay, so do either one of you know right away what your proudest moment is? I don't want you to think about it too much.
I was a mentor for at-risk youth for high school, and about 5 years into our relationship, my student did a speech at a fundraiser and talked about what an impact I had on her life, and that
at a fundraiser about oh wow,
yeah, for the organization. So, yeah, I was very proud.
Wow.
Well, I think because I grew up in Ohio, and in the 80s there weren't many jobs back there, and so I had skills as a tech illustrator, but not so much. I did some writing, and but I went to California and had a job interview for a tech writer, illustrator, and then it went pretty well. And then I went back home, though. I'm basically lying that I have this tech writing background. And so they said, well, if you actually move out here, you can have the job. So I thought it was cool.
What? Yeah. That's awesome. Did it totally take you by surprise? The job offer?
Pretty much, because I just thought
what an honor.
They would see right through it.
No,
but actually it worked out really well because I came out here.
They believed in you more than you believed in them.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I believe in myself. That's always been a problem.
Yeah. We're gonna work on it. All right, thank you. Yes, perfect. All right. So, how did it feel to talk about your proudest moment, right? I saw a lot of faces that were like, proudest moment. How did it feel once you started talking about it? What did that feel like? Smiles. I see nods. The energy is already up, right? When we start talking about proudest moments. Now, my trick question is, how many of you used the Ruck technique while you were listening to them? How many of you validated their proud moment while you were talking to them? Did anyone try it? Yeah, tell me. Lee, tell me, what was it like? So when you were talking, what did she do?
She repeated certain words that I've used, and doing that, it makes me feel like she was really listening to my story.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm doing the same. But
I love it. And Jason, you raised your hand as well. Did you use the Ruck technique?
He used it on me really well.
And how did it go?
When I was sharing my proudest moment, he immediately had a response and related it to
major kiss for you, because we were talking about yesterday about validating, and that is like a big one. That's awesome. Kudos to you, right? Kudos, right? Everyone, kudos. So this brings us into the next level for fracking. So we've talked about the hook, the first impression. We've talked about how to make an emotional deposit with someone, how to feel like we're exchanging emotions back and forth. And now we're talking about how to dig deeper. And yesterday we talked about vulnerabilities. So today is talking about how to light them up. First, I want to tell you a quick story. And this is the story of Benjamin Disraeli and William Gladstone. So Benjamin Disraeli and William Gladstone were running for prime minister in the UK in the 1800s. And it was a big race. It was extremely close and extremely competitive. And while they were on the campaign trail, they both decided to take the same young reporter out to lunch. And they took her out to lunch, and they had these great, discussions. And after both of the lunches, all the journalists asked her, so, who are you going to vote for? After having lunch with both of these powerful men, who is the one who should be prime minister? And here's what she said. After sitting next to Mr. Gladstone, I thought he was the cleverest person in England. after sitting next to Mr. Disraeli, I thought I was the cleverest person in England. Can you guess who won the election? It was Benjamin Disraeli, because he knew a secret. And that secret is that if you want to impress people, you should let them impress you, not try to impress them, which is a very different way of going about interacting with people. We think about all the ways we can be impressive and razzle-dazzle people, but actually, when you can let them impress you, when you can let them be the highlight, so you are their highlighter, you become more impressive. You become more memorable. And this is skill number 14. So we are learning 33 people skills in this course. And skill number 14 is all about being a highlighter. Help people be the best version of themselves. I love this quote by Abraham Lincoln, which is everything we're talking about today. Those who look for the bad in people will surely find it. This course is about looking for the good in people. We only have one single day on human vampires, those people who take. Every other day is about how awesome people are, because most people are awesome. They have so much to give, and connecting with them makes us feel better, it makes them feel better, it makes the world a better place. So we are all about looking for the good in people. And the way that we do this is, the first way is starting on a high. It's all about being a highlighter, and we're going to start on a high. So let me share a study with you, and here's what they did. They had waiters in a hotel. It was a hotel that all the rooms were inside the hotel, so they had no windows to the outside. And they had waiters deliver breakfast to people in the morning. And there was two options. The first side of the hotel, all they did was come in and say, "Hello, here's your breakfast." On the second side of the hotel, that came in and said, "Hello, here's your breakfast. What nice weather we're having outside." Right? They comment on the nice weather. A really simple, kind of boring comment, but still positive. Here's what's amazing. That one little tip, that one little comment gave them a 27% higher tip on that side of the hotel. This comment is we hear it all the time, but even just starting on a positive, starting on a high, it kicks into gear different parts of our brain, and they get a 27% higher tip, just with that one little piece of good news. So here's what I want us to do. Whenever we're interacting with people, that can be on the phone, in emails, with networking events, parties, dates, pitching clients, I want us to avoid starting on the negative. So many times we hear people say things like, "Oh, it's terrible traffic getting here. Bad weather, the food is gross, I'm so stressed, I couldn't find parking, I got lost on the way here," right? We don't even think about it, but we start with sort of these negative comments. We don't realize actually it's starting on a low. So what I want us to do is always think about, what is the positive here? What positive can I start on? So, gosh, it was so easy getting here. The weather is awesome outside. Did you see how beautiful it was? The food is delicious. What an end to a great day being at this event. What a cool venue. What a great group of people. What is the positive thing that you can start on? And these work great as conversation starters. They can either be your starter or they can be your second comment, right? Starting on a high. And this also trains our brains to go into optimism, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. I want to practice, so I want you to turn to the person next to you, and I want you to tell them one awesome thing about today. At home, you get to write down 3 different things that are awesome about your day today. Lacey and Michael, you guys want to come up with me for this one? 3 things at home, and I want you guys to tell me one awesome thing that's happened so far today. Michael, tell me, what's an awesome thing?
My awesome thing was talking to the receptionist this morning and immediately applying the techniques and the skills I learned.
And having a connection right away.
Having a connection right away.
Oh, I love it.
All sorts of things about American culture I didn't know. And all sorts of things. We ended up talking about what was it, police brutality and marijuana in San Francisco. It was crazy.
You see marijuana?
Oh, I smell it everywhere.
Marijuana, yes.
Yeah. How about you?
Best thing, we're staying in the most amazing Airbnb. It's gorgeous. I could have never imagined, and it's also 6 blocks away from here.
Which is
Okay.
awesome. So
Close.
convenient.
Yeah.
High five. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you. You guys can sit down. All right. So, how'd it feel to be positive, right? It's like good, right? We're getting the highlight in there today. So I want to give you a little ninja tip here, which is this is my ninja tip. It's my favorite thing to do. I told you I'm not a martial artist, but I talk about martial arts a lot in this class. Jason, do you know martial arts? Oh man, I thought you maybe could teach me a few moves. All right, so here's my ninja tip. One awesome way you can start on a high is to always be the introducer. I want you to be a master introducer. It's one of the most overlooked things in people skills because when you are the introducer, you get to be a raver. You get to rave about the person that you are introducing. Now, of course, you only want to do this when it's genuine and authentic, but hopefully you're hanging around people who are authentic. Here's how introductions usually go. John meet Ash, Ash meet John. Right? That's how they usually go, kind of boring. What I like to do is I like to rave about the people who I'm with, especially because I usually have amazing people around me. So instead you could say, John, meet the wonderful Ash. He's a very talented in-demand architect I feel lucky to know. Or, Ash meet John. John is an amazing pastry chef. His cakes are to die for. I want you to excel at introducing people. And this is a very authentic way to start on a high. Because you're bragging about someone you love, and it gives them a framework for knowing this person. So you're actually giving them more information, so it helps them as well. So it's a really easy little ninja tip on how to start on a high. Let's practice. I want you to introduce me to the person sitting next to you, okay? And I know that you don't know each other that well yet, but we are 9 days in. So I'm going to have, who wants to introduce Sachit? I think it's your turn. Yeah, will you may introduce either person next to you to me.
Babar. He's one of the best photographers in the Virginia area, and he takes really cool drone videos for weddings.
Ah, I love it. I love it. Okay, introduce Sachit to me, please.
I'm introducing Sachit to you.
Oh, yeah. Rave about him. Give me, like, what do you love about him?
Vanessa met Sachit. I mean, he's wonderful. Yesterday we met, and he is such an awesome software developer that I'm also very seriously considering getting his services. And then yesterday we had a chance to drive because I was going to drop him to the railway station there. And I got to know about his family. So I think that we're going to end up being really great friends.
What? I love it. Okay, so what I love about that is you guys have just met, right? So luckily you already knew about each other's businesses. But let's say that you're at like a really new event. You're at a conference or networking event and you've literally just met this person. You could still use this art by saying, hey, let's say that I just met Lacey. Hey, I just met Lacey. She's awesome. I'm loving talking to her. Lacey, you are, right? And you can just say, it's just been great talking to her. I'm so glad that we can bring you into the fold. Even just that says it's social proof, right? I love talking to her. Come on up and meet us. It makes you more memorable. It starts you on a high. Second, keeping it high. So we've started on a high. How do you keep that interaction with those positive dopamine triggers flowing, right? Triggering that pleasure neurochemical in the brain. The way that we do this is by avoiding spontaneous trait transference. So spontaneous trait transference is a very interesting thing that happens when we talk about other people. So we've all heard from our mothers and from school, they say, don't gossip. Don't gossip, don't criticize. There's actually a very interesting and important scientific principle about why this is so important. So spontaneous trait transference happens when you talk about someone, no matter what you say about them, automatically comes back onto you. So they found over and over again that when someone's sitting in the lab and saying, oh, my competitor, terrible to work with, lazy, they have terrible pictures, even though the other person consciously knows that you're talking about the other person, they put bad to work with, lazy, terrible photos onto you. They cannot help but associate what comes out of your mouth with what you say. Sorry, what comes out of your mouth with who you are. We just cannot help it. It's the way our brains work. So even though consciously doesn't happen, later when we're recalling you, we can usually remember what you said about someone else. And it happens totally unconsciously. So we want to avoid, at all cost, no gossip, no criticizing, no judging, especially when we're talking about competitives or other colleagues. At work, this is hugely important. You know, saying how someone else's work on a job was if you didn't like it very much, or another partner. I always will say, you know, I plead the fifth, or I'm just not sure. Just saying that, that's honest, right? You're being transparent. You're like, you know, I still have to make up my mind. I'd rather plead the fifth. That is much better than getting into the nitty-gritty with them. And you can say, you know, if you really want to talk to them, you should go talk to them yourself about it. Leo Aikman says, you can tell more about a person by what he says about others than you can by what others say about him. And that is absolutely true. We judge character not about what other people say about them, but about what you say about others. And that's one of the reasons, another reason why introducing people being a raver is so important, because if you're talking in an honest, authentic way about all the awesome qualities that your friends have, you share those qualities with them. Harnessing optimism. So today is all about harnessing optimism, and I wanted to talk a little bit about what it does in the brain. So when we go into optimism, and typically when you look at the brain, there's like negative, neutral, afraid, and optimistic or happy. Kind of, if you had to simplify it, that's sort of how the brain works. When the brain is on optimism, a couple different things happen. First, it changes our cognitive abilities. So when we are negative or we are in fear mode, and we're going to learn about this in segment 13, our cognitive abilities cannot function and fire properly. So when we're in optimism at networking events, when we're high, when we're at a client meeting and we're starting on a high and being really positive, we actually are thinking more quickly because we have more of our brain, our neural pathways are free for us to use them. It also spurs open-mindedness. So this is a great way for ourselves to get ourselves more of an open mind. It's also a great way for our colleagues and our clients to get into the yes mentality, which is exactly what we want. And it also, of course, I talked about, releases more dopamine, which makes us feel pleasure, reward, and happiness. The third way to embrace our be a highlighter is to use the Pygmalion effect. So the Pygmalion effect is based on a myth. It's named after a myth of a man named Pygmalion who made a beautiful statue of a woman, and he started to fall in love with his statue. It was so beautiful what he made that he fell in love with it. And in the end of the myth, the statue comes to life, they fall in love, and they get married. So the Pygmalion effect is when you expect good things come to life. Let me explain how this works. So the Pygmalion effect, they've repeated over and over again, is that if you tell students that they are top performers at random, you pick a bunch of random students, you say, you're a top performer, you're a top performer, those students will actually start becoming top performers. They will perform better when you tell them they are top students. You tell donors they are top givers, and they will start to give more. You tell hotel maids they burn a lot of calories, and they end up burning more calories. They actually did this. They brought hotel maids in, and they gave them a lecture on how many calories they burn when they're vacuuming and pushing those carts. They said, you have one of the most physically fit jobs in the industry. And they had them wear little calorie counters on their wrist. The following days after that, they burned more calories than they ever had before, and that sustained. Because mentally they were like, yeah, I'm burning more calories. And they actually then owned burning more calories. It changes our behavior. Even when, I think this is crazy, a computer gives automated compliments, we perform better. So like they had people at computers and a little screen would pop up and say, great job, you're doing great. And it was like so obviously canned, but it still triggered people's dopamine and they still made them happier and they began to play better. After each and every compliment, they were like, oh yeah, I'm doing great, even though they were automated compliments, even though they knew they were automated compliments. This is the power of the Pygmalion effect. So, way that we use the Pygmalion effect is we need to expect the best from people. When we expect the best, they act even better. Giving genuine compliments is a great way to use the Pygmalion effect. When you introduce someone, you give them a genuine compliment, they actually live up to that. And using positive labels. So, I want us to explore together some of the ways that we can use the Pygmalion effect. For example, do you have an awesome client that you love working with? If you tell them, you know, you're one of my favorite clients, I look forward to talking to you. You are so responsive, you're so reliable, and I love working with you. What do you think is going to happen? Yeah, Maggie.
They'll be more responsive.
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, I'm a great client, I'm responsive, I'm loyal, and they show up.
Yeah.
So what are some ways, and this can be also with colleagues, saying, hey, I love working with you on projects. You are so punctual. You always make sure you have details covered. Yeah.
I wanted to say that as a photographer, this is such an incredible thing that I tapped in 2 years ago with working with people.
Tell me.
The more difficult a client can be, I actually give them more like, you look amazing, this is gorgeous, like you
Genuine.
guys are so in love.
Genuine.
And like,
when they're nervous and you're like, no, you're doing it, you're really doing it.
Yeah, it kind of cracks that nervousness for them and they start to be like more relaxed and easy to photograph. So.
Cracks that nervousness. We are in the fracking section right? Emotional fracking is about breaking through people's boundaries. It's about getting a little bit deeper. And the Pygmalion effect is an amazing way. If you have a difficult person or an awesome person, giving them a genuine compliment so that they can live up to it, it fracks them. It breaks down that difficulty. Who else thinks that they can use this either with clients or colleagues or friends or partners? If you want to say anonymous, you can too. That's okay. Yeah.
I'm in a certification program, and I was just introduced over email to a peer coach.
Yeah.
And I just thought that she wrote me a really awesome introduction email. And so I think I'll acknowledge just how friendly and likable and actually easy to connect over 6 sentences it seemed to me that she came across. So
I love it.
I would never have done that before this.
I love it. So that is actually tying the Pygmalion effect into a thank you note, which is the best and easiest way to do it. So if you have someone in your life, and that actually is my next prompt, who has done something that you admire, who has done something that's helped you, one thing you can do in the thank you is say, hey, you've been an awesome client. Thank you so much for that introduction. To a partner or a spouse, thank you so much for supporting me in this, or thank you so much for being there for me. Thanking them and saying, here is the specific reasons why it helped me. Here is why your awesomeness is helping me so much. You are actually tying in the Pygmalion effect with gratitude. Yeah.
I find when I'm coaching classes is actually a great way to coach people. I notice sometimes when you're coaching people, they're looking for some sort of negative feedback. Oh, did I do that right? Whereas if I have 5 people in front of me and one of them is doing a great job, then I'll say, hey, great job doing that one thing. And everybody else hears that and they go, oh, I want to do that as well.
Yeah.
And they're reinforced as well.
That works in my workout classes for sure. If I see someone else that's gotten who's doing awesome, I'm like, well, I want to do that awesome too. Because our brains we crave that dopamine. What you did for that person is you triggered their dopamine, you made them feel happy, you increased their optimism, and our brains love it. Dopamine is like our brain's crack, right? We want it. And so we will also work harder to be able to do it. So I love it.
It helps if you use their name as well.
Because that's a double dose of dopamine. Yeah. We learned in segment 3 that using someone's name triggers dopamine. So if you use their name and give them a compliment, it's a double dose. I love it. Okay, so I want you to go tell them. In your workbook, I want you to write down, I have space for you to write down who is doing something awesome. It could be business, professional, or social. And I want you to find a way to tell them. Tell them how awesome they are. And tell them here's why, listing out those specific things.
Now, let's just remind our online audience, Vanessa, what part of the workbook
Yes, so we are in segment 9, Be the Highlight, and you can start on the 2nd page of segment 9. That is where we're at. I love it. What are some ways you can offer, what are some ways that you can use the Pygmalion effect? Expect the best from people, give genuine compliments, and use positive labels. All right, so number 4, how to be a highlighter is use the offer mentality. So most of us, when we approach interactions with people, we think, what can you do for me? We can't help it, right? We want to fulfill our needs. We want to go up Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which we learned. We want to see, what can you do for me? How can you help me? How can you meet all my needs? What I want to suggest is something different, which is not what you can do for me. It's what can I do for you? Now, I learned this 3 years ago when I was in my mentality of conferences suck, networking events suck. Ugh. I just dreaded them. They were in my survive category for sure. And I happened to be, and it's so lucky, I happened to be doing a feature on my blog called Cool Find Month, where I decided to do a month where all I was doing was looking up cool finds. Cool blogs, cool people, cool interviews, cool videos. I was just looking up cool finds. And so I had a conference, a couple networking events that I was going to. And unlike usual, where I would go being like, what can people do for me? How much business can I get? Who can I give my business card to? I happened to be in the mindset of, who's cool? Who can I feature? And so I was going around and I was talking to people and I was like, so what are you working on? Oh, wow, your Twitter feed, tell me about your blog. And I was, in my mind, I was thinking, secretly it actually was something for me, but I was looking for ways that I could feature them. It completely changed the way I experienced the networking event and the conferences. So I no longer think conferences and networking events suck because I have the offer mentality. It switched me from scarcity into abundance. When we think about what can people do for me, there's not enough to go around. These are my competitors. What do I need? How can they help? It's all scarcity because you're fighting for resources. Your brain is like, I need. That's a scarcity mentality because it implies that you don't have enough. By thinking about how can you offer, you have plenty. In fact, you have so much that you want to help others. It switches you into the abundant mentality, which is a much better way to connect. So I want to talk about a couple ways that we can use the offer mentality. And this works in business. This also works in social situations as well. Advice is one of the best ways you can give the offer mentality. That if you meet someone who's struggling in some way, advice, just saying, I'm here for you. I got it, as opposed to, yeah, I don't care what's going on with you, let me tell you what's going on with me. You're stressed, let me tell you how stressed I am, right? But instead saying, I'm here, I got you. The RUCK technique, which we learned 2 segments ago, segment 6, is one of the best ways that you can be in the offer mentality. Because you're saying, I want to rephrase your ideas, I want to use your words, and I want to check in with you. You can also do it if you're in business with tweets or posts or free consults. Right? If you're like, I would love to work with you. Let's sit down. I'll give you a call. I'll give you a bunch of free advice. And if you take it, great. If not, no worries. That's a great way to be in the offer mentality. It can also be just offering emotional support, right? Say, I'm here for you. I got you. So Michael doesn't know that I'm doing this, so I get a lot of emails from people who want to work with us, which is just awesome. We have the best students in the world. And I got this email from Michael, and it really stood out. And it's because his entire email embodied the offer mentality. Again, he doesn't know that I'm doing this. So I copy and pasted your email, and I put it up here on the slides. So I want to show you the email that he sent me. So the subject was, let me help you with your blog. Okay, offer. Hi, Vanessa. My name is Michael, and I'm a big fan of your work. Starting on a high, right? Starting on a high, right away. Beautiful, authentic, nice compliment. I hope it was authentic. Okay. Next, a few weeks ago, you announced your program on how to become a body language trainer. You also wrote that you're extremely busy, RUCK technique, and it's hard to find time to serve all the clients and run Science of People. That's where I want to help you. I was like, validated. Oh my God, he's going to help me. I'm an internet marketer with a specialty of writing blogs. Seeing you are so busy, I would love to help you by writing articles for the Science of People. Which was like it was like, highlight, genuine compliment, Pygmalion effect, offer mentality, validation, all in one email. I instantly replied to you, and I was like, great. How can we do it? Let's start. Were you surprised when I wrote back when I was like, yeah, let's do it? Or no, maybe you were like, yeah, this is awesome.
It was a big high for me.
Yeah, I was validated by you. I felt such a high from you, so I'm so grateful to that. You've written some amazing articles for Science of People because I know that you're here, that you're hearing me, and so therefore I want to hear you. That's why I wanted you to come to this course, because I want to make sure that we get your needs met too. All right, so what are some ways in your business that you can offer? Now, I want you to pull out your calendar that we talked about, so the next 30 days, and I want you to look at events you have coming up. What is something that you can offer at a specific meeting, event, pitch meeting, client meeting, job interview? What is a way that you can offer? And it might just be emotional support, or it could be offering, hey, I want to feature you. What is a way that you can offer emotional support? So I want you to turn to your partner and write in your calendar, and you have at home, I want you to pull out your calendar, and I want you to write in below each of your events coming up what you have to offer. What is your abundant mentality before you go into that event? I'm going to bring 2 people up on stage with me to talk it through. So, Van, who's your partner? Okay, come on up. Yeah. Turn to your partner. You guys can go ahead and start. At home, I want you to start writing in your calendar all the ways that you want to be an offerer. You guys can bring up your calendar or not, whatever you guys want. Do you have your mic?
I'm Mike.
Oh, perfect. Mike, yes, come on up. Come on. Come to my stage. Yes. All right, so do you have an event or something coming up that you want to offer at?
No, but I'm looking for work.
You're looking for work?
So I'm talking to a lot of recruiters and talking to
Okay,
people.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you're meeting with recruiters, so you need work.
Right.
What's a way that you can offer to a recruiter meeting?
Often what I do is offer to give a referral if I'm not right for the job.
I love it. So you have a list of referrals if you're not. which is, by the way, that recruiter, they are going to keep you top of mind for other things. I love that. I love that. Okay, yes.
So for me, I have like 2 calls coming up on Friday.
Okay.
It's kind of like idea extraction calls, which is like I'm trying to learn about someone's industry, see if I can work with them.
And so you're offering just free advice, right? So they're giving you your ideas and you are just offering to them. So here's my challenge for you. I want you to make sure that they know that. I want to make sure that they know that that call is all about them.
I say, like, I'm not here to sell anything to you.
Yeah.
I'm here to learn about your industry.
Yeah.
And potentially make something to solve a pain other people experience.
Perfect. And even more specific for the call, when you're confirming it, you can say, this call is all about you. I'm going to give you as much free brain power as I can. Right? You're offering your brain power. That is a lot for someone because they know that you have a lot of experience and creativity to give them. So it's all about you. I want to offer my brain. Yeah, set the intentions offer. I love it. Thank you, guys. Yeah. All right. So hopefully we got some good ideas. I just wanted to point out, Van was saying that she's going on some job interviews. And I said, what's a way that you can offer to a recruiter? And she had the best idea. She said, if the job's not right for me, I give them referrals that I know are great that would be right for them. For a recruiter, how awesome is that? You meet with someone who's not the right fit, but they're going to keep Van top of mind because they're like, wow, she gave me really good referrals. That's a very confident offer mentality thing to do. I love it. Okay, in action, you can use these in emails, right? Having the offer mentality on the phone. Dates, it's great to have the offer mentality, the abundant mentality as opposed to the scarcity mentality. Client meetings, parenting, and family. Sometimes we forget that there is enough to go around with family, and sometimes the best way to disengage a difficult person is to offer. We're going to talk specifically about difficult people in the Human Vampire section, segment 25. And of course, networking. So, coming up, we are diving into the personality matrix, and we're about to go up a step, guys. Cheer for that. So we are about to go into, we're about to go into bonding. Okay, the next level in the path to connection. We're getting really close to being able to read that whole human matrix. So the personality matrix is about finding out how other people see you. It's about understanding how people work and learning the secrets of personality. Optimizing interaction, we are going to learn what makes people tick. That's day 2 of bonding. We're going to design your personality to what you want it to be. And I'm going to show you how to be your best self that is authentically you. All right, the challenge for today. I want you to go tell someone how awesome they are, right? Go tell them how much they rock. That is part of the offer mentality. I also want you to see how and where you can offer in the next 30 days. So I want you to finish your calendars, not just the next 2 or 3 events. Go through the next 30 days, look at your events, and write in what is your offer mentality before your people interactions. All right. We're going to talk about what was the most important thing you learned today. What was your little aha moment? At home, I want to make sure you write this in your notebook because writing it down solidifies learning. And I also want you to tell me on Twitter, @VVanEdwards, use the hashtag #PeopleSkills. People who do it for all 30 days, the best answers are going to win my dating and entrepreneur course.
Which I'm particularly excited about.
Yes.
I've entered twice already.
Oh, yeah.
But Vanessa, I want to tell you how awesome you are. Because you really are. This has been an amazing 9 days so far. And we've got, what, 21? My maths was never good. No, 11. 21 to go. Absolutely. I don't know.
It's okay. I'm not math intelligence either. We're good.
You talked about moving from scarcity to abundance. And I think that I realized, like, we have so much access to everything in the world that gets at our fingertips all the time. And I think what's setting people apart is how much you care and how much you give and how present you are. And so in thinking about the people that I admire most, it's those people that are like, there's plenty, like, what can I do for you?
Yeah.
Like, how can I give?
I love that. Those people are the memorable ones.
Yeah.
They're the people who you want to hang with.
Yeah.
Yeah, along the same lines, Maggie gave an example of a client that she works with that is always offering to what can I do to help you, that kind of thing. And to me, it's the same thing. You remember the people that are making you those offers, and those are the ones that really stick out for you.
And what's amazing is, and I found this over and over again, that no matter how busy I am, if I offer, I actually feel better about the work I'm doing and the time is made. Right? The time is made because it makes you feel more fulfilled, and so you're happy with what you're doing anyway. So no matter how busy we are, there's always time to help. Yeah, one more. Yeah.
The Pygmalion effect. I think that often I don't tell people how much I really think they're cool. Sometimes I think I'm relinquishing my own cool by telling someone I think they're cool.
There's enough cool to go around.
Yeah. But I know I don't do it enough, and I should. So
I love it. So I hope that you're going to tell me your most important thing you learned today, because I cannot wait to hear it.
It's been great. It's interesting what Lacey's saying, because I think human nature is we do want to help, but we don't ask. But if we ask for help, we often get it. So don't be afraid to reach out. And don't forget, Pygmalion became a musical. And Stacey was with us yesterday. She's writing Keanu Reeves the musical.
I know. We're going to learn more about Stacey in the next section, actually.
Exactly. So stay tuned for that. But thank you for being with us. We've got a lot more to come. We're on to day 10 next.
Yeah, day 10.
Gosh,
yeah.
time is flying.